Hello, welcome to this week's Industry Spotlight. I think it's episode 7, and today we want to talk about Dizzy Rascal. Where is he?
Hi, welcome to this week's episode of Industry Spotlight. This is episode 7, and today we're going to be talking about Snapchat's new spectacles that they're bringing out this year. And we're also going to be talking about apprenticeships, and we're also going to be talking about Facebook testing a new breaking news feature.
So Snapchat have said that they're going to release a second version of their glasses based on the success of the first set. I don't see how that decision has been come to internally, but they're going to have another crack. Apparently there's going to be a lot more tech in these glasses. There's going to be a wider application for them in terms of using them for things like VR. The price point is a little bit higher, so it's retailing at $300 as opposed to the first set, which was $130. Based on the demographic, I don't really see how Snapchat are going to make.
It's a lot of pocket money.
Yeah.
For a teenager.
There's like 2 years worth of pocket money saving to do there, isn't there, really? Consider.
I think it's pretty cool from a tech point of view. You're basically getting a pair of glasses with multiple cameras on it by the sounds of things, water resistance. So it could be something that might be used elsewhere. I think the first edition was just tied to Snapchat exclusively. I don't think you could use it as an actual camera outside of Snapchat, I think. So if this one is a bit more open in terms of integration with other stuff, that tech, just at that price point, could be pretty cool. It's similar to, I know we were chatting before, similar to like when the Wii came out and people were buying Wiimotes just to use in their little pet projects because it had so many sensors in it without even having a Wii, basically. So this could be the same type of situation. If it tech's off and the market it right, you might get the geeks in just for the sheer amount of tech that's on the little gadget. But 300 quid, if you're just a heavy Snapchat user, to drop 300 quid on this following last year's 130 quid that no one bought, I don't know, it's clutching at straws, isn't it?
It'd be interesting to see what they do in terms of marketing as well, how much they're prepared to actually invest in it from a marketing standpoint to get it off the ground and get it there.
Just drop $1 billion on Kim Kardashian to wear them for a bit.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much going to be their own Snap audience, isn't it, that they're going to be wanting to attract mainly. So it's going to be inside its own ecosystem in a way anyway. It's just, I think the affordability thing, like you say, is just going to be a massive angle. It's only going to be, kids with, rich parents that are basically going to be getting this sort of tech.
I just don't know who they're trying to compete with. The interesting application is augmented reality. You've got people like Apple and Samsung who are introducing that native now into phones where you can do Bitmojis and stuff like that. So if they're going to replicate that, surely it's just a more disconnected way of achieving that.
Yeah, I suppose augmented reality is not necessarily what this is aimed at. On multiple cameras, you get the depth stuff, don't you, which is pretty cool in its own right. So you can do like head tracking stuff in better detail and depth perception stuff. You can do AI with a single camera case.
They're trying to make it fun though, aren't they? It's not as serious as that, I don't think. I think they're trying to make it quite an interesting, faddish product to own, aren't they?
But I'm thinking of a 12 to 24-year-old girl, a push 24-year-old, may not even have $300 to spend on them. So the practical thing to do would be to aim at the augmented reality audience, which I don't think they've got the... I might be way off.
I really don't think people are reading it into it that far, though. I think it's just it's a fashion statement as well, isn't it? Obviously, you can choose from, 3 different colours or something like that. So I think for people, kids at that age, I think it'll be a fashion angle as well. It'll be the next cool thing to have, won't it?
The rarity angle on the launch for the old ones didn't go down very well either, with the vending machines and the one store in New York, and they eventually put it in Harrods, I think. It's like, I don't know. It's cool and it's rare.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it really worked.
Is it a bit of a fad? I don't know how long it'll last, if there's any longevity in it, but I think they're going to have to go over and above with the marketing a lot more than they did last time, because I didn't even know about it the first time round, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Yep.
They're going to have to do a lot more out there to entice that audience, I guess. Mind you, I didn't necessarily fit into that audience segment the first time round anyway, so.
I guess this aligns with the Snap Store stuff that we talked about a few weeks ago, whereby you can buy Snapchat's own branded products. I don't know before whether it was like hot dog t-shirts and stuff on it, but I suppose this will go straight in there and then just be able to shove it right at the top of Apple and then, no, not about an eyelid.
Yeah.
Shove it in front of everyone's nose. And if you if you can transact on the app really easily, then maybe people will buy a bit more. Because I know last time you couldn't buy it through the app at all, I don't think. Just these vending machines and other random places where you can buy it. I don't think you can buy it through the app.
Yeah, well, I don't think they even sold out on the first generation, did they?
It's lost $140 million. That's so just $40 million.
Yeah.
It's only one order, mind you.
They need to call them Snapticles.
I were amazed. They've got all the domains and social coverage for the word spectacles. I don't know how much spectacles.com cost them or the spectacles Twitter handle or whatever, but...
How has no optician got hold of that?
They've got spectacles.com.
Yeah, click on that current spectacles link there. Yeah, spectacles.com.
Are you sure that's not just a brand and they're...
This is a Snapchat site.
Good God, how have they managed that?
It's been an expensive acquisition.
Do you think we could put a request in for some Flaunt branded ones?
No.
Okay, so the next piece we're going to cover is why brands need to take on apprentices and widen access to marketing careers. So marketing typically has got a shortage of talent at a certain level. I think the underlying theme of this article is basically that a lot of marketing-based careers get their skills from experience-based work. So, for example, I don't know, someone who's done a sociology degree at college may come out and get an entry-level marketing career, whereas the marketing industry, because there is a shortage of skills, is basing their hires on experience. So the government are introducing a new levy and set of funding that basically backs apprenticeships. So rather than going to college or uni to further your education, there'll be an opportunity for people to come straight out of school and go into an entry-level marketing apprenticeship or an apprenticeship in another field. I think it's something that happened a while ago, didn't it? Maybe like 8 years ago. Apprenticeships were big 8 years ago, and then they sort of died off, and now there's this new set of funding. But I think specifically in the marketing space, it's going to be a good thing. I think I read recently about there being a shortage in skilled marketers, especially up north, and I think the result of this will be that junior staff will get a foot in the door and get the experience that they need, and brands and agencies will be able to afford to bring them in rather than having to look around and have a longer drawn out recruitment process to try and find someone that is pretty much gold dust and having to pay through the nose for that. So I think all in all it's probably a really good thing.
Yeah. I think as well it's probably come at a good time as well with obviously the university fees now. I think everybody's bit drained really with how they're constantly increasing, aren't they? And I think there's a bit of an attitude developing as well amongst young people that is university the right route to go down. There's a lot of people in the industry now that didn't go to university and still managed to have a successful career in a lot of other industries. So I think there is an attitude developing now of, what are my other options? Is an apprenticeship a good route? I think if the incentives are there for both people wanting to get into work, young people wanting to get into work, and obviously employers, I think it could work quite well for both parties.
I think employers are now taking the onus, aren't they, a little bit with this skills gap. They're realising that unless they do something about it, it's not just going to fix itself. So I think with the government shoving a bit of money into it too, I think they're just trying to fix a glaring problem that everyone's facing, and people have got to do something about it, otherwise it's going to be there forever.
Yeah.
I think employers are starting to realise now that they've got to start doing this stuff.
I agree. I think employers have to take apprenticeships a little bit more seriously than they've done in the past. I think there's been a massive pressure on businesses to take on apprentices and things like that, and they don't really want to because it takes up a lot of management time, keeping them busy, training them up, that kind of thing. But because of things like we were talking about the other week about the skills gap, and like you were just saying then about having to pay a massive amount of money for somebody that's not overly skilled, hopefully businesses will start seeing that as an opportunity to get young people in, train them up, obviously gain that loyalty as well from somebody, keep them in the company, train them up and keep them there. And obviously it works both ways then, doesn't it? Obviously, because you're not paying somebody a massive amount of money to do a mediocre job as well.
So the final subject we're going to cover is Facebook rolling out a breaking news label. It's just another thing that they're doing as a test run, as a way of giving publishers a bit more creative flexibility. I think it sort of touches on maybe going after a little bit Twitter with the way in which the content is put out. I assume that it's just going to be a label within the feed that's breaking, and you'll get a notification in the same way which you do with live.
It's just a little red label that you get over the articles, and I think it's applicable for any web link instant articles. So you'll just get a little red label that appears on the ad, but they've not decided yet whether they're rolling out or not. It's still in testing, and it's only been in the US.
Is that something that you'd be able to filter on? So you'd be able to say, just show me all the breaking news?
Quite possibly, but I think there's a broader conversation around this, and I think it ties in with the changes that they've made, obviously, that they announced a while back about clearing the feed up and obviously getting publishers to work a little bit harder to get more quality content out there. So I think this is one of the first biggest steps in that direction, where they're saying, right, we're tidying it up, we're trying to give you more relevant content that's going to be people are going to be attracted by. I think what it'll do is as well, it'll push publishers to get onto that breaking news straight away, so they can use the label. Like any new feature, everybody wants to be on it. Everyone and his dog wants to be on new features, don't they, when it comes to social? So I think they'll be scrambling about trying to get on this, but it creates a better user experience for the end user.
What would be really interesting is if Facebook managed to secure a deal with Google whereby the breaking news articles brought into the SERPs directly. I think that'd work really well.
Facebook hate that, don't they?
Yeah, but imagine how much. I don't think it'll ever happen, because I think Google view Facebook as a bit of a competitor anyway in terms of the content proposition, and the search functionality that's within Facebook is continuously improving. And as more and more people spend time on the platform, they're pulling people away from searching on Google. So, but it would be interesting if Facebook managed to negotiate either some sort of markup that you can do with a breaking news article that would pull it into the SERP as it happens. Because I know Google have got almost live results in the card-based systems.
Yeah, so I think that'd, I don't know if that'd actually happen.
I don't think they'd play nice with it, but it'd be an interesting thing to think about. I know that Twitter partnered with Google to get tweets indexed a while back. Not in a live feed kind of way, but if Facebook managed to negotiate that, I think that could increase Facebook's reach, and it probably would increase the user base to a certain extent, because the people that would look for news that are perhaps an older demographic that might not have the knowledge or the regular daily usage of Facebook would end up on that platform.
Yeah, quite possibly. I don't know, like you say, how nice Google will play on that, to be fair. I think there's a lot that'd have to go on in between there to make that happen. And a lot of negotiating for such a small feature as well. Really, it's not a groundbreaking feature that I don't imagine Google would be too excited by. But I think overall, it is quite a good step in the right direction, based on the tidy up and Facebook's commitment to getting the feed a little bit more relevant and tidier for the end user, really.
Thanks for watching. It's been Industry Spotlight episode number 7. If you've got any ideas for topics or anything you want to see us cover, then just comment below and we'll get on it. Cheers, see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to know, I don't know. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our episode 7 of Industry Spotlight. If you've got any more ideas for what we might want to discuss, then let us know. I can't do it. I'm fucking shit. You do it.
What, from the top?
Yeah.
Come on, mate, smash it. Take one take.
Everybody fucking just stares at it like that.